How's it going, everybody? Just checking in here before we get started using some new software. So I want to make sure it's working right. Don't see me live yet on YouTube, but we will see here in just a few minutes. If you're in the chat or if you're watching and can hear me, please leave a message in the chat. Today, this is New Music Tuesday. It's our very first one, and I'm excited to be doing this. We'll be live in about, looks like 2 minutes. Oh, Tuesday, looks like I am live. There he is, he's talking. So before I get started, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a little bit of testing here, and just to make sure that everybody is hearing some music, I'm going to play a little smooth Latin jazz and make sure it is coming through loud and clear. So let's go to that. And just again, just to test, I'm using some new software today. It's very cool so far. And so I hope I hear it. So I'm going to play a little music and let's see what happens. I'm going to share my screen and pull up a little bit of Caribbean smooth jazz. All right, you should be seeing that on the screen now along with me, and I'm going to play that. And let's see what happens. All right. Very nice. Very happy with that. All right. Very nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little break to the islands. That's just a little bit of testing I wanted to do with this software and with this live, because it's very important that you get to be able to hear what I'm doing. So we are still a little early for the podcast, but let's see who is here. Bradford, nice to have you here. Arko, gonna hear some music from Arko today. Bradford, thanks. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Chrisna, thanks for being here today. We're gonna hear some music from you, my friend. And I am so excited to do this. I love these lives. And I found this new software. It's called Restream, and it is a lot of fun. So I think we're dead on time. So it's just about to turn 11. Alex B, there you are. Great to have you in the stream this morning. If you're watching this on replay, I hope you'll excuse just a little bit of kind of getting things going here a little bit. And I will put everything in the description for the replay of this video so that you can just click to when we actually get started and when we start to listen to each person's music. So first of all, let me get rid of that screen because that's not what we're going to listen to today. What we're going to be doing today is listening to about 7 different composers who have bravely sent me their music to give a little advice and constructive criticism to. This will not be a super, hey, Rude, there he is in the chat. Rude will also be hearing some of your music here very soon. And super excited. So apparently I can just click and say, boom, and there's Rude. That is so cool. I'm going to use this all the time for my lives. Again, this software, as you see up in the corner, is called Restream, and it works so far. It's working. So I'm excited. I'm excited to do lives all the time just because I like to talk, as you probably know. And but this particular video is about listening to what you're doing and me just giving you my thoughts. As always, with everything on my channel, this is only a good morning, Mr. Ronan from Los Angeles, up and at 'em at 8 a.m. over there. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. we have people from all around the world, and this channel is all about trying to figure out new ways to make music income, right? So this is not quite like Stevie B's reviews where he is getting in depth. My goal with all of these reviews and all the reviews that I do is to really just give you an idea of what I think based on my experience. All of my channel, I'm going to start it I'm going to start like doing some kind of warning. This channel is only based on my experience. Your mileage may vary. So let's move right into this. No reason to sit here and listen to me talk. Let's move right in today and go to the first song that I have queued up here. And I'm just going to share that screen right now. And so you can see, here we are, Music Review Tuesday. I'm using Disco to save everything in. It's just the easiest for me. And the first one we are going to listen to, I don't see Angel here yet. Now maybe, or Malanezz as we refer to them in the Discord. But I think I might just go in order of who just commented first. And Arko, you commented first. So I think I might just go to Arko's tune and take a listen. Does anybody need to go first because they have to go? Well, thank you, Chrisna. I appreciate that. Chrisna says, it may only be your experience, but it's a great resource for those of us getting started. And that's awesome. I have worked with many artists and composers and songwriters for 22 years, or actually for more like 30 years. And I have worked with a lot of people who are just getting started. It's kind of my specialty, and I try to help people get from 0 to 60 as fast as possible. And so that's what all of my videos kind of are about, to be honest with you. So let's start with somebody here who is here, and Arko. I'm just going to start with your tune. And I am assuming sometimes it's hard to see. Yes, I got you. No, I got you. And by the way, that's a good point. Let me call up my email here because I want to make sure that I am talking about the things that you wanted me to talk about. And I can see that right in the email that you sent me. And so I meant to have that up here to see. So again, thanks for everybody for being here. Okay, so Arko, there you are. Okay, Arko says, I want to get the song synced. The song has a long intro, though. This is a song he made a few months back. So let's go listen to that song now. Let me close a few of these. Go on down here to Enter the Metaverse by Arko. Let's see how this all sounds. The Metaverse by Arko. Let's see how this all sounds. Oops, showing the wrong screen. I don't know if y'all are hearing that or not. I'm going to start that again. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. I don't know if y'all are hearing that or not. I'm going to start that again. All right, let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start again here with Enter the Metaverse. Ice breakdown. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. That is very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that, Arko. No, you don't get to hear it again. That's very cool. Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? It really kind of reminds me, Chrisna said it's got this kind of retro modern sound to it. And the reason it sounds modern is because of Stranger Things. We're used to hearing these 80s synth inspired things from Stranger Things soundtrack now, if you've ever watched that show. And it really does. It kind of has that thing. As a matter of fact, boy, I would find the music supervisor for that show right away, Arko, and try to find find that person to send this to, because this certainly fits the vibe of that show. I think this has, what I really liked about this song is it had the breakdown, and then it ramped up, and then it seemed like you were at full, and then it ramped back down for a second, and then ramped back up again at the end. That was a nice touch. I love the intro. I don't think the intro is too long. I think it builds, and it's only 2 minutes, so who cares? I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I'm only going to give criticism when I think that there is something that can constructively help you. And in my opinion, this sounds good. If anyone else in the comments has got about 10 people watching. If anybody else has any other thoughts, I'd be glad to hear it, and any other things. But as far as I'm concerned, Arko, I really like the way this sounds. And yeah, I just think that it's got a good sound to it. I think it's a yeah, it is a little repetitive sometimes, but I think it's a background thing. And I think one of the things that we don't talk about, and I certainly don't write enough for, is the fact that this is all background music. You can hear this. If you just listen to this, you can hear this going. You can hear, you can just hear that kind of, behind a soundtrack, especially in an 80s type of show. Bradford says, Arko, that was great. You have a future. Yes, Arko, you do have a future. And again, I like the mix of it. Of course, I'm not listening necessarily to these songs. The Arko, just please check out the email I just sent. Is this sorry, Arko says he just sent an email. Sorry. So yeah, Arko, I thought it was great. Were you able to hear it okay? Arko says mystical yarb. Oh, did I mess you guys up? Oops. I've been talking about Arko. Is enter hold on a second. I thought I had the right thing there. Great. On the very first song, I've messed it up. Okay, sorry. I see that Arko. This is not Arko. This is probably Malanezz. Yeah, this is Malanezz. So I don't think Malanezz I'm not sure if Malanezz or Angel was going to be able to join us today. So now here's what Malanezz said about this song that we just listened to, Enter the Metaverse. Similar in style to Tron Legacy, D-Rez. I agree with that. I would love to know what you think of the context of production music. Well, I talked about that already. I think it's going to be an easy thing to sell. Stevie B is, let me go in and fix these songs here, but Stevie B is actually, well, I'm not going to be able to fix these songs right now, I don't think. But Stevie B is doing a contest this month. Still have a few days to submit to that. And Angel, since this is you and Enter the Metaverse, I would absolutely, yeah, I'm sorry about it being mono. It sounds good on my iPad, actually. I I don't know if there is stereo in any of these kind of programs, but we'll find out. It sounded good on my headphones when I played it back. And it sounds like stereo to me. You guys tell me what you think of this audio stream, because it sounded pretty good on my iPad, but then it's just an iPad. So, all right. So again, Malanezz or Angel, who also goes by Angel. Yeah, Enter the Metaverse is great. I would really look it up for synth, 80s synth pop. And like I said, Steve in his Production Music Academy has a category for this, I think, this month. And I would definitely, if you're part of his Production Music Academy, I would submit that. So, okay, well, let's now go actually to Arko's tune, which is called Mystical Yanbaru. Sorry about that, Arko. I had it mixed up when I tried to be all organized and write everybody's name in here so everybody could see it. And that's my bad. But I will fix that. And I'll probably let people have access to this disco thing if they want to go back and listen to these. So, Malanezz, sorry for misnaming who did your song. I know you'll be watching later, and you've heard my thoughts. Great job. I really like it. And so now let's move on to Arko and Mystical Yanbaru. It will have the wrong name on it, but we all know it's Arko. So let's move on to that song now and take a listen. Is everybody ready? Here we go. Yeah, cool. All right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was Arko. You can see it's a little bit uh, misplaced. I could go in and fix that, but I would have to kind of, uh, go back and forth. So I probably will just, for now, um, oh, look at the different things I can do here. I will probably go back and fix that up because I'm going to put the link to this so you can, all of you can listen to this in stereo um, down there. Yeah, it's Alex. I'm sure it's just some kind of mono feed. We are dealing with software here that does not um, necessarily is not made for musicians. So I'll try to see what kind of changes um, we can do. Yeah, right. It could be a test for how good it sounds in mono. Alex says this would make it an unintentional mono compatibility test. And as you know, everyone says you should be able to listen to your stuff in mono and it still sound great. I know some people that mix in mono. They're crazy people, but apparently they do it. Okay, so Arko, let's talk about this song. Yeah, well, first of all, my first constructive criticism here would be that it's too long. Um, it's a little too slow a boil at the beginning. I think all of that first minute could be tightened, or if not lost. I think it's got a great. All the instrumentation is really great once you get into it. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, when we're listening to this part here. But that's 2 minutes in. And by that time, you've probably lost whoever you're trying to pitch it to's attention because it takes so long to get to those first booms. And so if you could meld and maybe take, hey, I just did a similar thing with one of my songs called On a Parallel Earth, where I start with that kind of piano sound. And you you could start with that piano sound and then quicker get to those booms a little quicker and then get to the instrumental section a little quicker. So this thing whittles down to about 2 minutes instead of 3.5, almost 3.5 minutes. And that would be my first thoughts. Other than that, I think it could probably build a little bit more with more percussion towards the end and just kind of build up to a fever pitch. That's what probably people are going to want from this song is to move up to that point. I mean, all the instruments sound great. There's no problem with any of your instruments and any of your arranging, really. Um, if it was for, I mean, you could keep this long version and do a shorter versions, do 2 minute version, and it would still be pretty killer in my opinion. If anybody has any thoughts, Arko, what do you think about that? You can let me know in the comments. It definitely needs some. I mean, sorry, not Arko. Wait, yes, this is Arko. Gosh, I'm getting so confused. I'm so sorry. So yeah, Arko, I really think that this could be a little bit more trimmed down. You could do a 2 minute version. Yeah, and Chrisna's comments are kind of right on here. Keeping the listener's attention in this particular tune, I think, is the problem. You already achieve it with different instrumentation. Yeah, it's all about the arrangement, I think. Um, Catalin, thanks for joining us today. Feels a bit unfocused, hard to nail down a clear melody. I'm not sure I agree with that, the melody necessarily, but I agree with that it is a bit unfocused in the arrangement. I think that's the real problem. I think you have a nice melody once it gets started, but then I think there could be more happening towards the end. You could get the drums going, or all the you're not really using drums, you're using percussion. I think you could add in more percussion. every 4 to 8 bars be bringing in more percussion and driving this thing and building it up towards the end, because I think it all sounds good to me. All the sounds sound good to me, Arko, and I like it. I would love to hear a version that is just a little shorter and just a little bit more focused. Like Kylan said, I'd like to just see a little bit more of a focused thing, that maybe it starts with one of those booms, or maybe it starts with the piano and then that lasts for 8 bars, and then boom, and then you start something, and then another boom, and then you get to that midsection where it really starts going, and then you build that to the end and end, with maybe a boom. It looks like it does end with a boom. So that's my thoughts on that song. I think it's beautiful, and I think the instruments sound good to me. I just think this is an arrangement thing where you could tighten that arrangement up and then make the arrangement stronger in the end. Okay. So that is my thoughts on that. Let's move back to we're going to move to Alex B. Tension hip hop underscore. First of all, Alex, is this your song? I just want to make sure I don't make a mistake again and go to the wrong song for the wrong person. But we're going to go to Tension hip hop underscore. This is what I got from, and I'm just making sure here. Yeah, sorry Arko, for getting your wrong artist name. Let's see here. So Alex, yes, I've got the right song here. Okay, so now we're gonna listen to Tension hip hop underscore game on by Alex B. Here we go. Yeah, Alex, that sounds really good to me. I think that so Alex said in a note here that Scorekeepers and Signature Tracks had rejected this song about this hip hop underscore tune. And you know what? There is just there's no rhyme or reason to why people yeah, well, that's what I thought, Ronan. And I have no idea why. Here's the only everything sounds great, Alex. Everything sounds great as far as the um as the sorry, we are in mono in this software today, Callan. I'm not sure why it's why it's playing in mono. I did some testing, but I didn't completely know that it was going to be playing in mono. I just put if you go up in the notes, I just put the playlist. Tell me if that takes you to the right playlist. That should take you right to this playlist that you can listen to all of these songs in stereo at your leisure, even after this. If that's not the right playlist link, it's the one I'm looking at. So let me know if that playlist link works for you guys, and you can go back and listen in stereo later or now if you want to. But Alex, I think that sounded awesome. Here's my only constructive criticism of this song. I think it seems like it gets to one volume about midway through, and it stays pretty much there. Let me look at that again and listen to that just one more time right there. Like about here. Even when you get to that point at 18, what is that, 118? Yeah, 118. It still does it has more stuff going on. You add more instruments and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like it ramps up to the next thing for me. And great, Catalin. Thank you so much. Everybody, the playlist works that I put in the comments if you want to go and listen in stereo while I'm jabbering about every person's song here. But and I'll try to figure out a better stereo solution, because one reason why I picked this program was it sounded pretty decent on my iPad, but you know, it's just an iPad. I'll do some more testing. There's also another company called StreamYard that does a similar thing to this, but boy, this is super easy to do. Can you guys even hear me? Could you hear me that whole time I was talking? I don't know if my mic was up, but it's really easy to do. Yeah, I guess. No, I don't think you could hear me the whole time I was talking. All right, so let me just go back over what I said, Alex, in case you didn't hear me. I'm seeing some different things here in the comments, but I really think okay, you got it. Keep telling me how my signal is. Like I said, this is brand new software for me, so I am just figuring out. And I thank all of you guys for being here. We're having a lot of fun now. Yeah, you're too loud now. Okay. Loud, now quiet. Okay. Just trying to find the right thing. All right. How we sound right now. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we loud? It's fine now. Thank you, Chrisna. Okay. So Alex, in case you didn't hear we heard you the whole time. Okay, very good. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Great track. And you're going to place this somewhere, dude. You're going to put this somewhere. I mean, Motion Array, if nowhere else this could be, you know. So are you in Motion Array, Alex? Oh, Alex, that's right. You've been trying to get in Motion Array, right? I can't remember, but it seems like you've been. Thank you, Saint Devil and Chrisna, for telling me. It seems like you have been trying to get into Motion Array, but I think of Motion Array and all stock music libraries as the super end-up backup third or B or C option for anything I'm trying to put to sync. I'll put it in stock if no one else takes it. But I would still continue to pitch this, Alex. I think it's got stuff. I do think at that 118 mark where it hits that next level, there's still more levels to hit. I think it because it's so tension oriented and because it's so orchestral, I think you can get bigger and bigger with that last fourth of the tune, you know. I understand everybody's going to reject it, and there are going to be people who like it, people who don't like it, but I like it. And but if I was the library, I would come back to you and say, at the very end, it needs something more. It needs another level at the end. That's just my thoughts. But I love the mastering on it. I love the sounds. It sounds good to me. But I do feel like it just gets to a place where it's just the same for that last part, and nothing grows, and it has a good ending on it and everything, but I think it could grow to the next level. I don't think the rejections mean it's a bad song. I think the rejections mean they just didn't think it was right for them for whatever reason. I've had tons of stuff rejected by scorekeepers that was just as good as stuff they accepted. So, you know, that's just the way that is. So I would definitely keep trying with that, Alex. And I would, but I would add something extra to the end of that. I know sometimes when you get these things done, you're like, I'm kind of done with it. But that's my thoughts. That's what I would do. Okay, moving on. Thanks so much, Alex, for that song and being a guinea pig here today with me. All right, Chrisna, you have been so helpful today. Let's find your song. And let me go back to my inbox here. And okay, there's Rude. And then Chrisna, I think you must have just sent it to me another way. Stephen Devlin. Okay, cool. I try clarity. Do I even have clarity in here? I don't see it in here. I'm going to go down to Chrisna here. Disappear featuring Emily Drum. And we're going to listen to this. Let me make sure I have the screen looking right here. We're going to go down to Chrisna and listen. Here we go. It's pretty.
Everyone sees it, so I'll sit here imploding with fear. I'm tired of acting, afraid of the things that I made in my head. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm not who you want me to be.
Oh, so pretty.
This thing that's inside her has been around far too long. She's fighting every moment to make herself a person, a human on earth. She wants to be free, but till then she must hide away, and she cries.
Okay, I'm just going to pause here and say this is 7 minutes and 51 seconds long. So far, it's completely beautiful, but I'm going to have to skip ahead a little bit just to hear some of the things that are going on because this is really pretty. You guys got to go listen to this in stereo. I do want to make one little change on my live studio here that I was just looking at and see if it makes any change. Tell me if you can hear in stereo if I do this. Okay, you can still hear me, but can you hear this any better? Okay, we'll get to Mark in just a minute. Sorry. Okay, we'll get to Mark in just a minute. Sorry. Okay, I'm not hearing much difference here, so we'll just keep going. Let's listen to a little bit more of this. I probably can't. So it kind of seems to end here, and then. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with this song here. Let me see if I can do it down. Yeah, it for some reason wants to move on to the next song. Sorry about that, Chrisna. I'm not sure if this has something to do with how long it is or not, because I can go to any part of these songs. That's odd. It just wants to cut off right there, no matter what I do. I can't hear the end. And so here's why. I don't know why it has 7 minutes. So you're saying that was the end right there? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me just say, this is beautiful. And I believe it is amazingly beautiful. Are you familiar with Seal, the artist Seal, Seal? It reminds me a little bit of Seal as far as not the vocal, but the song style and the chords that you're choosing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Catalan, I think it's a playlist error of some kind. But it's really beautiful. My only comment, I mean, it's so beautiful, I just want to go listen to it again because it reminds me a little bit of a song by Seal, a song by maybe a James Bond song in a James Bond movie or something like that. Yeah, a Disney movie. It does sound like an artistic track. I thought of this as, but you know what? I could still hear this as an intro song over credits at the beginning of a movie. If you've ever seen James Bond movies, they have songs sometimes like this over the top, except for the fact that my next comment, and that is that I feel like there could just be more, I don't know, more percussion or something, or drums that come in at some point towards the end to really take this to a kind of a bigger level. It feels like it's beautiful. I mean, the whole thing is just gorgeous. This part. I kept expecting it to grow to this next level and get bigger. Maybe some like guitars and stuff. I mean, it's like it goes to, it's beautiful through the whole thing. Everything is beautiful in it. So there's no problem with it. But it stays too orchestral and tame for me a little bit. It feels like Catalan said, uh, you know, he says it feels like it's masterfully done, more an artistic track than a sync track. And I think it could be both, but I think it could definitely be a movie soundtrack type thing with a little bit bigger growth from that orchestra because it stayed kind of pretty and beautiful through the whole thing. And I think it could get, yeah, exactly. I mean, I could tell that Chrisna says Kiss of the Rose, which is a Seal song, it's one of his biggest songs, is one of your favorites. I can tell that, my friend, because it sounds like that. And it's beautiful, man. What a great God, the cat just bit me. See, this is what happens live. Cats bite you, software doesn't work, everything's in mono. But yeah, folks, I really think that this is a beautiful tune, Chrisna, and thank you so much for sending it. It was a pleasure to listen to. All these tracks so far have been so great, and man, really enjoying listening to everything. And but yeah, that's my only comment. I would probably put something towards the end to grow it with some powerful drums, and it could go all the way. You could keep this version. Now, that's the thing I want to say about all the songs today. If they're Alex, I still think you could add that thing on there. Hey, Fracture. All right. Glad you're with us today. Thanks so much for being here. But Chrisna, I think that this could be another level, but I wouldn't lose this version. I would keep this version as one of the versions of the song, but I think there could be another version that had that kind of power at the end of it. Power guitars, power drums, real bass, like a real band comes in underneath the orchestra and starts to drive it a little bit towards that ending. Not too much, not slamming this thing, but just growing to that third level for this song would be great, I think. All right. Well, let's see who is up next. Just in the order. Someone sent me a song, and if you're in the chat, please tell me because I could not get your name. Maybe you sent it to me. The name of the email was MMusic or MMusic9991. I don't know your name, but it came through as AAM. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it, and we'll see what Shot in the Dark sounds like. Are we ready? Tell me if you don't hear anything. Nice. Man, that was really cool. Does anybody want to take credit for that here in the show here today in the notes or in the chat? Well, I'll just respond to that. I don't really, yeah, I agree. Chrisna says great sound design, and I don't disagree. It sounds awesome. It's got a really good sound to it. It's got a lot of power to it. I don't really hear anything wrong with the sounds. Trailer music, Saint Devil says, very cool track. Agreed. This fits very well in the trailer world. And as far as I'm concerned, you need to be pitching to the trailer world if you're not already. Sounds awesome. I love what I'm hearing. I don't really have, let me just listen to a little bit. In the headphones, the kick drum sounds like it's a tiny bit loud, but that's just my phones, and like it's just punching through just a little bit too much. But that's being super picky. I could go through and be super picky on all these tracks and tell you that I don't like this or that. I tell you what I'm not going to do on this, though, I promise, is that I'm not going to tell you it's great if I don't think it's great. If I think there's a lot of work to do, it's just like on Alex's tune or on Arko's tune. If I think there's things to do, I will tell you. And I just from I'm not a trailer music developer, but from all I can see, I love it's got that lo-fi type of stuff happening, and then the big hits. It does everything it's supposed to do, as far as I'm concerned. And so, very cool track. So thanks for sending that. And please let me know in the comments if you show up and listen to this later, what your name is and where we can hear more of your music. Very, very cool track. All right, so let's move on now to Rude. Rude was here in the chat a minute ago. And Rude, we're going to listen to Glorious Feelings. Rude sent me 3 songs, but I'm not going to have time to do more than one. But we'll do another one next week. And I appreciate you sending those to me. So you're in the queue for next week as well. So let's go to Glorious Feelings by Rude. Here we go. Yeah, this sounds good to me. You know, uh, this to me, this is exactly what any corporate track you're going to want to hear is going to sound like, right? I mean, I think this is, like Krishna said, just the right mix of consistency and variation. Um, yeah, the right instruments at the right time. Uh, it does its thing. I'm not sure if I remember. Let me listen to something real quick in here. I think my only thought on this song would be that uh, I think you could maybe have a down section that really takes it down. I mean, that really strips it down to not nothing, but kicking an instrument or something, and really have a B section. Now I know this is corporate music. There's several different kinds. There's kinds that do A's and B's, but it doesn't seem to have that thing where it really comes down and then it goes, and right back. And I think that Catalan says, sweet corporate sound. Daniel would be proud. Daniel of Stock Music Licensing, our friend, and just a great guy. And one of the people who helped me get started, just like I'm sure he helped all of you get started, or many of you get started. But I think it just seems like it could have a place where it comes down and just really goes down, not to maybe to the beginning, or maybe even lower than the beginning, because the beginning really starts out with a bang. And I know some corporate music just has that, keeps the same thing all the time. And again, this is going to go behind people's YouTube videos and corporate presentations and things like that. And I think that it's certainly going to work for that. But if you're looking for another version of this, um, I would, I would definitely think, Rude, that you could um, have a section that comes down in the middle of this. Again, there's nothing wrong with this version that I can see. And so I would keep this version. But so in a lot of my comments might be just different versions that might work. If you ever work with disc makers, now I'm not sure they would take a corporate piece like this. They don't seem to be that interested in that. But if you work with an exclusive library, unless they're looking for corporate music, which usually exclusive libraries that I've talked to have not been. But if you were, they might come back to you for different versions. And I think you could make a second version of that had a really good lower section. But there's nothing wrong with this as it stands. You do have a lower section. It's just not that low. So yeah, I have to agree here with Fracture Music. I really like that track too. And thank you so much, Rude, for sending. I look forward to listening to more of your songs. I hope that helped. But you don't need much help, man. And hey, guys, when you don't need help, then we're not gonna mess with what you're doing. All right. White Beam Studios tuning in while preparing dinner. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. White Beam tunes into a lot of our lives. I really appreciate you being here for this. This is a kind of experiment with this new software with Restream. I like it so far. Just got to figure out how to possibly get stereo out. I don't know how to do that. I'm going to look into that and do some more testing. But I literally started working with this Restream software this morning. I looked it up last night because I realized sometime yesterday, I realized I have no idea how to stream other than in Zoom. I do. In Zoom, I can stream in stereo, but on YouTube, I had no idea how to stream the tracks from this playlist. All right, well, let's move on here. And I think we're next up is MakeMusicIncome, and then we've got two more after that. So let's listen to Mark, who also I believe goes by Marcio. Is that correct? Hey, Dave from ACT Artists. Dave, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. I'm glad you are here. Rude, you are absolutely welcome. I hope that helps some. But like I said, it doesn't sound like you need much help to me, man. And I look forward to hearing some of your other tunes, your non-corporate or other types of tunes. Look forward to hearing that. This is a lot of fun for me. So thank you guys for all sending this to me. Okay, so next we're going to go to Mark, who goes by MakeMusicIncome. It's kind of a joke, and that he uses with his name. But we'll listen to his song right now. It's called Summer Night Ride. Yes. Okay. Let me stop that before it moves on. You can see what St. Devil says here. Yeah, great, nice guitar sound. I agree. Mark and I have done some coaching before, and he sent me songs before. Fracture Music says I could see that song being used in like a race car game. Really cool sounding. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a good song, Mark, and I think you are coming along so fast, and I know that you've just only been doing this for a short time. I still think that there is, and this is a great genre, by the way, this kind of rock, upbeat type stuff seems to do well on stock, especially. If you're trying to figure out, and let me look at if we've had any comments here. I don't see a comment from you, and you probably sent it to me on Discord. But I think there's still for me now. This is being again, guys. I am being super picky on these. But if I'm being super picky, the thing I'm going to say is that the guitars sometimes are a little on these kind of things. Now, I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think, but sometimes I think guitars have to be really in the pocket. They have to really be in there. Yeah, I like the way it picked up. White Beam says, I like the way it picked up intensity. Lead guitar on that. Yeah, there seems to be a level missing in this, Mark. About because you feel like you've heard it all by the time you get to the end. And it's kind of weird to go back to that kind of B section. Let's see. I think the problem for me is we really don't hear this section here. I mean, you kind of like refer to the intro in this midsection here. It's all good. But for you go to the outro as the intro, which I get, but the problem is we've forgotten the intro by now. We know we heard it somewhere at the beginning, but it's probably not enough of a build-up at the end to really take us to the end. Again, being super picky here, Mark, because it sounds great and it's got a good sound to it, but, there's a a a build that's not happening for this song. It seems like it could build more, and I think going back to that just little intro, which is fine, and it's not that it doesn't have any energy, it just, to me, sounds like there could be another level that we hit at the end, and, um, drums sound pretty good on this, and, um, I think if I was mixing this, I would probably try to give it a little bit more oomph, but, I think the oomph for me is what's missing at the end. I was a little bit like, "Okay, that's the end. Oh, okay." And it was really building up, and then it kind of I don't ever think that you want your ending section to be lower than your biggest section. In stock music, maybe not even in sync music. That's just my thoughts. If anybody has any thoughts about that, let me know, and I will, I'd be happy to address that. But great track, Mark. Everything is super improving. Every time I hear stuff from you, it's an improvement. You are coming along, and I'm really impressed by you. Okay, so now I have to unshare my screen because I have to share some other screens to get to some other things. So